All right, let's continue. All right, the motivational minute. The key to success is to focus on goals, not obstacles. Bingo, I got it. I got Blanca muted. So again, I'll repeat it again. The key to success is to focus on the goals and not the obstacles. We all have obstacles and challenges, right? Every single day we have our challenges, but stay focused. If you are not jumping on the morning producer's mindset, okay? We have them on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and then we have a guest speaker on Friday. It just really gives you that jump start that we all need, all of us. And it's great to hear different leaders speak and also top performers, giving us their tidbits on what works for them as well. It's great. We have anywhere from 30 to 45 to 50 people that jump on the call, and it's really great. And it's not just South Bay, folks. It's a combination of multiple market centers as well. So 8 o'clock, it's on the calendar. You should be getting the links or the emails, so that way you should be jumping on. Don't have excuses. I'm still in bed at 8 o'clock, okay? Let's start. Let's do this. I love this motivational minute. All right, let's go ahead and continue. All right, let's congratulate Robin for capping. It's awesome. So congratulations, Robin. Enjoy 100% of your commission. Your dedication and your devotion and your strive, right? To close deals, to ultimately get 100%. So we're super ecstatic and happy as well. Let's continue. All right, what do we got next? Ignite. All right. So this Thursday, is it this Thursday? Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this Thursday, January 20th from 11 to 12 o'clock, Ed will spearhead the second session, right, Ed?
Yeah, correct. We started on Tuesday, yesterday.
Yeah.
By the way, so, we changed last minute. And it's now going to be.
Yeah.
Hello there. So we changed last minute. We are going to be doing this hybrid. So if you'd like to join us in the classroom here, you can join us live. If you'd like to join us via Zoom, you can do that as well. We tried to record the session yesterday, but we had a technical problem, so we didn't realize till afterwards that we never recorded it. So it was probably my best teaching of Ignite session 1 ever, and I'm pretty sure it changed the lives of those people who saw it, but you'll never get to know about it, and unfortunately, I can't share it with you. No, but we will be recording that from here on out. However, I will urge you to please join in person. And again, this is the second session of a 20-part series. Most of the teachers are better than me, so don't worry about it if you don't like me teaching. So yeah, I hope you can join us. It's going to be Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, 11 to noon for the next 5 weeks. That is Ignite, the whole series.
Beautiful, awesome. And you're one of the best today, so please give yourself some credit as well. But yeah, just to add to what Ed was saying, yes, we have some phenomenal instructors. We have ALC. I will be also spearheading one of the curriculums as well. So it's super, super important as we launch the first quarter of 2022 that we get engaged, right? Activity is ultimately the success to income, revenue. So if you're not doing any type of activity, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to see the results, okay? I want to be the #1 office here in the South Bay. One of our strives that we had our retreat last week is that I want this office
Simon, you're muted.
Hi, can you hear me now? So I was saying, you missed my incredible speech. That, one of our goals is to hit, the $1 billion in sales value with so many new agents joining our office, performing agents, and then, the mid-level agents, taking their business to the next level. There is no reason why we shouldn't be hitting that $1 billion in sales value. Even if we get shy and say $750 million, I'm okay with that. You know, how much more would that impact all of us? That's the way I see it. So let's strive for that, and let's continue that momentum. And let's just continue each and every single quarter. All right. So thank you. Ignite program tomorrow, Thursday, January 20th. Next slide, please. Okay. Are you guys ready? Guess who's going to be flipping pancakes for you? So welcome back. It's really the launch. So you're cordially invited to our Pancake Breakfast for the agents. It'll be this Friday, January 21st from 10 to 11 o'clock here at the KW Lounge. I already have the griddles. We're going to be flipping pancakes, sizzling the bacon, and we'll have orange and coffee. It's just a great start of the year, but also you get to see me work and be doing some labor flipping pancakes. So love to see you. Please RSVP so that way we know what the head count, but please come on, enjoy, rub elbows with some of the agents here, and we'll have, you know, some pancakes, right? Good deal? Is everyone committed to come? Yeah, awesome. And that's also including everyone on Zoom. All right, let's go ahead and continue. All right, our KW Health monthly family hike. Come and join us for our monthly family hike. The location, it's not here in the South Bay. It is at the Cave Montes, 24424 Van Own Street in West Hills here in California. It's not, at least it's not out of state, right? So it'll be this Saturday, January 22nd. We'll have all the information, but you got the location. Just be there at 9 o'clock, and you know, rub elbows again, not just with KW agents, but we have other market centers as well.
That height looks really cool, by the way. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got caves, obviously, which is pretty
Cool. That's awesome. Cool. Let's go ahead and continue. Thanks, Ed. All right. We have Fernando Diaz with Home Bridge giving us some updates on lending. Fernando, good afternoon.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, perfect, guys. Well, nothing's really happening in terms of rates, right? Absolutely not. I don't know if you guys are aware, but I put a couple of posts on your website there, your Facebook site. But interest rates in the last 30 years have climbed almost about 1%, which is a dramatic increase in such a short time. The markets are really adjusting to the Fed's comments about raising rates as many as 3 to 4 times this coming year here, and also the inflationary worries that are out there. Jay Powell, who is our chairman, has taken a very aggressive stance on inflation, no longer saying that it's transitory. So he doesn't care at this point in time, and that's the message he's sending. If he slows down the economy, what he cares about is controlling inflation to the best of his ability by raising rates. And so therefore the markets have already reacted very fast to what he is alluding to and talking about. And not to mention a couple of weeks back also, which affects more our market than the rest of the nation, but Fannie Mae also imposed additional hits, or what they call LLPAs, or adjustments to loans that are high balance. So those are loans basically in our wheelhouse here in the South Bay, over 647 and under 970. So that also put pressure on the pricing of those loans, and made them a little bit higher than they should have been previous to that adjustment. But that's pretty much it. As of this week, the national interest rate average, that is as of yesterday, is about 3.64, and that's the average. So that's a dramatic increase from where we were 2 years ago, is basically where we were. So right before COVID happened, interest rates were somewhat close to where we're at today. And then obviously COVID hit, shut us all down. The Fed dropped rates to 0, and then the market obviously dropped down and flourished. So in terms of the interest rates, that's kind of where we're back to right now. I don't know if anybody has questions on that or any of these adjustments that Fannie Mae made. But on the positive side, though, refinances are obviously down. Purchases, guys, and the amount of people rushing to get approved and to just try to get into a home before rates rise anymore it has been a frenzy. I mean, it is definitely a great market for you guys to be working with buyers and sellers, because there is tremendous amounts of activity due to the fact that these rates are pushing up aggressively, and people are like, hey, you know what, we're done sitting on the sidelines. We need to try, you know, our best to try to get in. So that's a good thing, at least for us here in our markets. So I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but we're definitely seeing that here on a national level too, but locally also. And that's it, unless you guys have, you know, questions in general.
Any questions?
Hey, Fernandez, so rates have gone up about 1%. Any thoughts on what's gonna happen going forward?
They're going to continue to rise. That's basically what our analysts are saying also. So just to give you guys an idea, and that's something to look back, especially for your motivated buyers that were pre-approved, I would say in the last 30, 60, 90 days, you need to readdress that again, because most of them have lost about 10% of their qualifying power. So that's a big change, especially if they're pushing the envelope, which, let's face it, in our markets, a lot of people do, just because of the way the prices are. But if you were previously pre-approved, let's just say 10 or 20% down on $1 million house, you may only qualify now to around 900,000, which could change the market on that person or the neighborhood on that person that you're helping to buy. So that's one thing to keep in mind, you know, when you're looking out there in terms of qualifying power. That definitely has changed for a lot of people. So be aware.
Miguel has a question in the chat, which is the one I was gonna ask, the follow-up question, which is,
Go ahead.
how high do we think rates are gonna go? Like, what can we reasonably expect? Any thoughts?
I think the big thing is it just depends on what the Fed does. So, you know, everybody expects them to just do a quarter and a quarter and a quarter increase every quarter. But they could shock the market if they do a half, for example, or a 3/4 adjustment, which could definitely really spike them up. I think, I mean, just my opinion of doing this 27 years, I think we'll probably end up somewhere in the low 4s by the end of the year, you know, 4 1/4 or so, give or take. I think that's kind of where the market's headed.
Beautiful. Any
Yeah.
additional questions?
About home prices, will they continue to rise, stabilize, or go down?
Fernando,
Well,
the
the easiest answer to that, guys, is this, and you can see it, especially for those of you guys that are out there writing offers, or, you know, you can see it with your listings. Rates, though they will continue to rise, at least for the short, you know, run, the short run is the next 12 months, you know, and maybe longer, but we can't look further than that because we don't know. But what I will tell you is this: yes, you know, 90 days ago, 6 months ago, you know, we had situations where you'd see 20 to 40 offers on a home. I think that this rate increase has pulled some of those people into the sidelines or off the market. But the reality is, as long as our inventory stays as tight as it is, and there are multiple offers on properties, the prices are going to continue to rise, and affordability is going to sink, at least around here. Just because that's just economically, it's a supply and demand issue. That's all it is. So it doesn't matter how high rates go. As rates increase, yeah, you'll pull a certain amount of people off the market. But as long as you see 5, 6, 7 offers or more in a house, right, that's going to create a bidding war right there just between those people, and the price will continue to rise.
I have a question. Where does the buyer stand for the first-time home buyers? Where do they stand in this market?
I heard something about first-time buyers. Can you, or Simon or somebody, repeat that?
What will be the outcome for the first-time home buyers in this market?
What will be the opportunity?
Yeah, for the first-time home buyers in this market, the first-time home buyers.
Well, you know, the biggest sector of the people buying are first-time buyers. So, I mean, there is opportunity for everybody. Unfortunately, and I don't know which way you want to go with this, but the first-time buyer looking for any kind of subsidy or government assistance, that buyer is in the trash, unfortunately, right now, just because of the competitive level of the market. I mean, I will tell you that in 5 or 6 years, there was a time and place in my career where I was even on their websites, because I did so many CalHAFA and government type loans, that I was one on their preferred list of people doing them, I guess if you want to call it that. So customers were just finding me online. I haven't done one in 5 or 6 years, only because it's so competitive that it's impossible to get those guys in. They eventually just end up going traditional or FHA or something like that. And that's basically the way they've gotten in. So that's the way it's happening. But, you know, a lot of first-time buyers, especially here in this area, you know, they're getting help from parents and grandparents. And so, you know, in a lot of cases, their offers are just as good as other people that are not first-time buyers. You know, they've got 20, 25% down or more sometimes. And those are, you know, unfortunately, you know, those are the people that are winning those houses, are winning those offers, you know.
Awesome. Any additional questions? Okay, cool. Fernando, thank you so much for providing us with some updates, and definitely looking forward to the outcome in the next month or so of what that looks like. So thanks again, Fernando. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, well, let's go ahead and continue. So next up, we have the KW South Bay Hub. Okay, I've been getting a lot of agents reaching out to me. Where do I find this? Where do I find that? And I wanted to introduce again the KW Hub. The reason I want to bring this up is because a lot of the content and information that you need here at the office can just be found on the website. It's one of the most efficient ways to get, you know, our tax ID, our license number, our address, our phone number. Who are the leaders? Who are our ALC, sports entertainment, designations? And then we also have the sources of our affiliates and vendors as well. So Ned, if I can have you share my computer real quick. Can I share my computer? Let's see, bingo, all right. All right, so can everyone see my screen? Yep. All right, so let me just go through the motions real quick. So this is our KW South Bay Hub, okay? It's right here, kwsouthbayhub.com. Save it, put it on your phone. This is going to be one of the most efficient ways to get all, if not everything, answered for you. Here we have our value proposition, our sports and entertainment, if you want to sign up and be part of that. We have our DRE information. All you do is click on here, and that'll take you to the information that you need. Our market center 446, our license number 0185 40 35, address, phone number, email, federal tax ID, and all of our MLS IDs, okay? On top of all that, we have our board and our preferred vendors. Then we have our leadership here. You know, who do I need to talk to? If it's, you know, our OP, if it's Simon, your broker team leader, if it's Ed, if it's Linda, Natalie, if it's Holland, or if you want to talk and brainstorm and pick our ALC members as well, this is the information that you can. On top of it, all of our classes, all of our training as well, you just go into the career development, go to January, so a training calendar, and guess what? It's going to take you to the actual calendar of that week. And here you can navigate and see, okay, what do we got going on? What activities do we want to be part of? Team meetings, and everything is just go through it. And if it's on that specific date and that time, click on it. If it's a Zoom, guess what? It'll take you right to the Zoom. Okay, as an example, as the team meeting today. The other cool thing about this is also, you know, we have February, we have March, we have our annual calendar. If you want to get a broader look at what's going on, then just go to our annual calendar, and here we have all the classes that are going to be part of the office. And again, it's a combination of Calabasas, the Long Beach office, here the South Bay, and the LA Harbor as well. So again, the resources are here for you. You don't have to send me an email. You could if you want, but I'm giving you a more efficient way to get all the answers taken care of. If you have any potential individuals that want to get their real estate license, right? You talk with a lot of people and someone says, look, I want to get into real estate. All you have to do is send them the link. You just click on here, okay? And then you just copy that, right? And then you can send a text, and all the student needs to do is fill this information. We get this information, and then myself or Ed will do a follow-up to just make sure that we can have them in alignment if this is something that they truly want to do in real estate. And all this can be tracked. We'll have all this information. We'll know What agent provided us with that lead? That's so cool about this new site that we have. And again, it's just an avenue to be more efficient, okay? You know, obviously our Zoom link is the same, so save this. So it's like, oh my God, did we change the Zoom? No, the Zoom link has always been the same when it comes to our team meetings as well. Our tech, our marketing, but really what I really wanted to touch is our vendors here, okay? So here we're constantly adding new vendors. We have our escrow, Keller Cover, our lenders, you know, LendUS with Chris Rivera, Homebridge with Fernando Diaz, our concierge, our TC, appraisal. So it's the list of going on and on and on of different companies that if you're looking for a specific resource, we have it here. So I think it's just a very cool site. And again, it just navigates a lot of your questions. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that out and just provide you with this incentive. If you're not jumping on this, please jump on this because it gives you a lot of the information that you need. If you want to know a little bit about tech, about marketing, bam, it's all there. Okay, any questions? All right, cool. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Is Laura on the call? Yes. Laura?
Hi there.
Hey, Laura, Happy New Year. How are
Happy
you?
New Year, everyone. Hope everyone's staying healthy and safe.
Yes, absolutely. So it's that time of the year, right?
Yes, it
And
is.
I have a lot of questions regarding our risk management team. So I think this is a perfect time to really start having conversations on the process that we have and the benefits that we have as well for us as individual entrepreneurs, but more so that we also have a program that helps buyers and sellers. So thank you again, Laura, for being on the call. So take it away.
All right, great. Thank you, everyone, for having me here. My name is Laura Peterson, for those of you that have not met me previously. I am the COO for Real Estate Risk Management. I'm here to discuss all of the benefits for you as the brokers and the agents of the office, as well as the benefits for your buyers and sellers. When I talk to agents, they always have a lot of questions. And so we want you to use our program. We're not your E&O company. We're not going to keep a tally and increase your rates. Your rates don't increase with us. We've been in business now for this April, we will be in business for 35 years. Real Estate Risk Management was founded by my parents who had lost everything due to litigation in the industry. They knew there had to be a better way, which is why they created the company. They've turned the reins of the corporation over to my direction. In addition to being the COO, I am also a real estate mediator. I work hands-on with your clients on their cases. We have a team of mediators here that are there for your buyers and sellers for disputes after the close of escrow, deposit disputes, things like that. I'm going to go into more detail about their benefits later in the presentation. But first, I want to talk about your benefits as the brokers and agents. Now, RERM, it has a complete package of protection for you and your professional license. The key to our services is we have to know the broker management team is aware of the situation. Yes, you can call my office. Yes, you can talk to the legal service center. Please don't just wait to talk to me. So many people see me on these Zoom meetings and they think they have to talk to me. You don't have to get services, don't wait for me. I'm not necessarily, I will promise I will call you back, but if you want faster results, go directly to the legal service center. Don't wait for me to call you back, but I'll be happy to talk to you at any time and answer any of your questions. But your broker management team, meaning Simon, needs to know that you are requesting legal services. The reason for that is because the brokerage is ultimately responsible for you as the agents and licensees. So we always have to make sure that he is in the loop of what's going on. Now, RERM provides all your benefits. We're there to answer all of your transactional legal questions. We're there to handle all of your threats of suit. Again, in 2021, the statistics came out, we have a 99% success rate of stopping every threat of suit from becoming a lawsuit. The reason for that is, as my father would say, he created the secret sauce of legal. You got to have a really great team of attorneys there that can be there to answer the agent's questions and write response letters when they've been threatened. If at any time you've been threatened, if a buyer or a seller threaten you, please make sure that you're going to Simon, the broker management team, so that they can be there to help guide you and work with my office so we can quash that situation. Errors and omissions insurance is getting more and more expensive every year because so many carriers are pulling out of the state due to the volume of real estate transactions out there. So insurance is something you really want to be careful of and be treated as a precious item. You never want to abuse it. So whenever you get threatened, you go to the broker management team, then you come over to us and we have you work directly with the attorneys. The attorneys can also be there to assist you with commission collection. If a buyer or seller try to cut you out of the deal, our attorneys can be there to counsel you and write demand letters on your behalf. Small claims court counseling. For those of you that don't know, in small claims court, you cannot have an attorney go in your stead. You have to represent yourself. Well, because of that, we have the attorneys actually write a legal brief that you can take into the court to get you dismissed in the action. And if for any reason you were found guilty in small claims court, we will actually have the attorneys appear on your behalf in an appeal. Now, make sure that when you're working with our attorneys, if it is a new request, that you always come to the Legal Service Center. That way we can make sure that we're paying your legal bills and they're not billing you directly, because as Simon can attest, that can happen at times. The attorneys will send you bills. So make sure that you're always going through us. Also, any threat of suit that comes in, we need to know about it in the first 10 days. That is where we have our 99% success rate. But we're not going to have that success rate if you sit on it 30, 60, 90 days later and come to me and say, well, Laura, fix it. We're not going to have that success rate. So please, again, don't be fearful of turning things over to us. We want you to use the service. We're there to defend you in mediations. As a certified mediator, I'm here to tell you, mediators are trained in global settlements. You never want to go to a mediation if you are a party to the action, because if you do, that mediator is going to try to convince you to write a check, even if you've done nothing wrong. So if you ever have to go to a mediation as a defendant, make sure that real estate risk management is there to help you and defend you in that action. Also, anytime that you're brought into a lawsuit or mandatory arbitration, real estate risk management is there to cover all the legal fees and court costs up to the E&O deductible. So it's zero out of pocket to you. Without real estate risk management, you would be responsible for that portion of the deductible right out the bat. But with us, we pay that directly to the attorneys that are assigned by the E&O. We're also there to handle any deposit disputes. That's for when the transaction is dead. There's not a heartbeat left in it. Real estate risk management's team of mediators can be there to help resolve that deposit dispute between the buyer and the seller. We will always keep you updated on the situation, but we like to work directly between the parties because history has shown us sometimes there's too many cooks in the kitchen and it can actually unwind our work. So like I said, we will always keep you updated on the cases, but we just don't necessarily need your direct involvement. Are there any questions so far? No. Okay. All right, moving on. Any government agency complaint filed against you in the brokerage, real estate risk management's attorneys are there to represent you for 10 hours per complaint. I'm going to tell you, the DRE is becoming more and more active. Because of COVID, there was a lull. There was a backlog. Well, they're catching up, and it is speeding up very rapidly. They are looking for agents that didn't do things the right way during COVID. They're looking for agents that did anything wrong, and they want to get in there and they want to investigate you. So please remember, if the DRE calls you, they're not calling you to say, hey, you're doing a great job. No, they're investigating you. So if they call you, you are to say, thank you so much for calling me. Let me get your name and your number, and myself and my broker of record are going to be returning your call. Do not answer any of their questions. Let's have an attorney do that. Because just like the IRS, if the DRE comes in, they're going to find something. That's what they do. So please take any DRE letter, email, phone call very seriously and bring us in to handle that. We're also there to handle any board or realtors hearings or mediations, arbitrations. The only area that we do not cover is broker to broker, agent to agent disputes. We always like to have the offices resolve those themselves. We are about legal defense, not so much legal offense. We cover all of your transactions dating back to the inception date of the brokerage. So let's say you started with the brokerage 6 years ago. All of your transactions, closed or unclosed, are going to be covered. So know that you have that security there. We're also there to cover anything that the E&O excludes. We do not have an exclusion list unless you committed criminal fraud. I had an agent one time that took $94,000 from his client and gambled it away at the Commerce Casino, and then wrote a note admitting to this and then took off. So any kind of criminal activity like that, no, I'm not going to defend you. I'm going to defend the brokerage. But make sure, you're keeping your side of the street clean always. Okay, any questions in regards to that? No. Okay. All right. Let's keep moving on. You have personal benefits as the brokers and agents. Payment of legal fees and court costs. If you sell a home in which you have a vested interest, where most E&O policies will exclude that, real estate risk management does not. IRS audit appeal defense. That is for when the IRS has come in and audited you and said in 2019, you owe back taxes, pay us now, we're going to seize your assets. Real estate risk management has tax attorneys, or we can pay your own CPA to represent you in an appeal. Motor vehicle violation. Motor vehicle violation is a huge thing right now. Like I said, the government's starting to catch up on a lot of things. And I'm seeing a lot of agents who've had motor vehicle violations where their license got suspended and they did not notify the DRE of this. And because of that, they've actually had their real estate licenses revoked. Okay, computers are quick, computers are savvy, and they all talk to each other. So if you get a motor vehicle violation in which your license could be suspended or revoked, the first thing you're going to do is go to the broker management team. They're going to get us involved, and we're going to assign you over to an attorney who can be there to defend you. That does include DUI first offense only. Please Uber, Lyft, call a cab, call Simon, he'll come get you and get you home safely. You don't want to do anything to jeopardize that professional license. Also, anytime that you have a personal legal need, it could be something nice. You want to set up a family trust, or you want to incorporate, or any kind of legal need that you have. We have over 750 attorneys currently on the panel, and that is continuing to grow. You can get a free consultation, document review, and the attorneys will extend to you up to a 25% discounted rate off their normal hourly rates. So please, if you have any legal needs for you yourself personally, make sure you come to us. So before I move on to the buyer-seller legal protection plan, are there any questions in regards to your coverages? Nope, we're good. Okay. Okay. The buyer-seller legal protection plan. This program is for all of your clients. Not everyone has this program, so this is a really big benefit for people to work with you. So when you are in your buyer presentation or your listing presentation, you're going to tell them all the wonderful things that you're going to help them do to sell their house or help them find a house. In addition to that, you are going to say, we also provide you with transactional legal advice to answer your questions before, during, and after the close of escrow pertaining to buying or selling of that property. Now, the only requirement for this program is that you enter into a representation agreement with us. Now, a representation agreement can be a purchase agreement, a listing agreement, a buyer broker agreement, which I really like buyer broker agreements, don't work for free, okay? Make sure that you are entering into representation agreements when you're working with buyers and sellers. Or it can be something as simple as an agency disclosure. Let's say you have a client that wants to sell their house, but they're not sure if they can evict the tenant out of the property. Great, sign an agency disclosure. Let's get that question answered by an attorney that specializes in that area of law. Now, we provide you with all of the marketing templates. Simon, I hope you have the marketing templates and they're available to everybody. Well, that's a big one. That's the benefit package, but the customizable marketing templates, I'll make sure you have the most updated ones where the agents can drop in their picture and their contact information. And we also have trifold brochures. Not sure if you need more, but Simon, yeah, there you go. Simon, please let me know if you need any more supplies.
Okay.
The attorneys are going to be there to answer questions for your clients like, how should I take title? 1031 exchange. Will this transaction impact my taxes? Disclosure questions. How do I disclose an issue with the property? And you're kind of scratching your head because it's kind of a difficult situation. Let the attorney answer that question for your client. Questions on short sale negotiation, evictions. I can't stress enough, do not answer any questions on evictions. Please let the attorneys answer those questions. I have agents that think that they understand the law for that area and they don't. They give the wrong information, they enter into escrow, and then guess what? The tenant is protected and they can't get evicted out of the property. So please make sure that the attorneys are answering these questions for your clients. That's one of the reasons why you have this program. Now, these consultations are valued anywhere from $350 to $750 per consult. Your clients are going to get one consult per topic/subject. So today they have a question on evictions. Tomorrow they have a question on disclosures. Next day they have a question on taxes. They can get one consult per subject matter. They're going to also, with the consultation, get up to 10 pages of document review. And then also, if they want to retain the attorney, let's say to set up a trust before the close of escrow, the attorneys are going to also extend to them the discounted rate off their normal hourly rates. Now, are there any questions in regards to this benefit for your clients?
Any questions? No questions so far, Laura.
Okay. As I said, the only requirement for your clients to use this service is a signed representation agreement. As I said, agency disclosure, that's simple. So if somebody says, well, I've got to get this question answered before I can do anything, great, sign an agency disclosure. It's simple. Any representation agreement will work. We'll also have a form that we want your clients to complete. It's called the buyer-seller inquiry form. On that form, it's a box that says, I would like my agent to be a part of the consultation. We always want you to be part of that consultation. That way you're hearing exactly what the attorney is advising your client. It's really important, okay? This is not a time to be in the car. This is a time to be writing down the answers that the attorney is giving to your client. So that way they keep the legal advice, because if they come back on the same subject and want a second consultation, oh, I forgot what Aaron told me. Well, we can do that, but it would be extended at the discounted rate. Now I see we have a question. Is it free for the client? Yes, we're going to talk about costs in just a moment, but there is no upfront fee for your client to use this service. If the client uses it once, twice, 10 times before the close of escrow, and escrow doesn't close, there is no fee to you and there is no fee to your client. So this is a great reason for buyers and sellers to work with you. Now, upon the close of escrow, the fee is paid to RERM, and we are going to send an electronic certificate of benefits to your client. That certificate of benefits, it's going to explain to them that they continue to receive transactional non-dispute legal advice pertaining to the property. And in addition to that, they receive lifetime mediation services provided by RERM's team of certified mediators. Now, our mediators here are not attorneys. They're not there to pour gasoline on the situation and blow it up. We're here as peacemakers. We are here to work any situation out involving the property. Now, that could be a non-disclosed issue by the seller. That could be something that the termite company missed, something that the home inspection company missed, a problem with the HOA, the city, the county, you name it, we mediate it. We mediate disputes for $25 and we've mediated disputes for over $1 million and everywhere in between. We do have Spanish-speaking mediators, as well as we have Farsi, Indian, a lot of different language in mediation. So if your clients have those, those language issues, please make sure you reach out to us and let us know that. Knowledge is power. The more we know about what the problem is and what your client's needs are, the better served they're going to be. So please, when they need to use this service, send over everything we ask for. And if we come back to you for questions, please just know that we're trying to best serve your clients. Now, the services for our mediation, there's no additional costs or fees. So it's a big incentive for the other side, even though they're not part of real estate risk management, let's say, they were with a brokerage that doesn't have our coverage. It's a big incentive because to go to professional mediation, you could be spending thousands of dollars for just half a day's session. With us, it's unlimited. It's for the lifetime of the transaction. Now, some of our mediations are open for a day, others are open for a year. It just depends on the matter. But if everyone is willing to work with us, we have about a 96% success rate of resolving these disputes. Now, if we can't resolve the dispute, we're going to advise your client on what the next best step is going to be, whether that be small claims or other alternative dispute resolution. Now, before I go into the recap of the benefits, the RERM program can be paid for by the buyer, the seller, or gifted by the agent, or a combination thereof. Your office has payment forms where if the buyer says, hey, yeah, I want to pay for this, no problem, great. They sign, you just check a box on the form that it's going to come out of the buyer's escrow account. Now, I have agents that put this as line items in their purchase agreements and line items in their listing agreements, buyer legal protection plan, seller legal protection plan. So, or you can just use this as a closing gift. What better gift than giving them legal advice and lifetime mediation services to handle any problems affecting the property. Now, to recap the benefits, the transactional legal advice for you is unlimited. The legal advice for your buyers and sellers is one topic per subject matter, but unlimited subjects. One-time fee paid at the successful close of escrow covers you, the brokerage, the buyer and or the seller. If you double in the deal, the fee would be paid on both sides. To initiate services, yes, you can always call the 800 number and talk to my staff in the Legal Service Center. Again, don't wait to talk to me because you could be waiting for a very long time that day. I will always return your calls though. But if something happens after hours, please go to the broker management team. They know how to reach me. I have after hours attorneys there that are there to service and help you with those situations because I want you to sleep at night knowing that all of your legal issues are being addressed. Okay, so please, again, don't be afraid to call broker management on Friday night, especially if it's a 3-day weekend. You don't want to be thinking about that all weekend long. Also, if you're coming to us for a personal matter, let's say a personal legal need, and it doesn't involve your professional license, that does not need broker management approval. You can come to us directly. So the RERM forms that are needing to be used. Now, your office has copies of all of these forms. Now we have an agent services inquiry. That is for when you have a transactional legal question, like CAR 411. The legal incident report, that is for when you have been threatened. The PD LIR, that is for when you need personal legal advice. The homeowner inquiry, that's for when your buyers and sellers have transactional legal questions. And the buyer-seller LIR, that's for when there's a dispute after the close of escrow. Now, you as Keller Williams agents, as long as it has broker management approval, you can call into our office. We fill out these forms for you. I'm on the cusp right now of launching our portal. Once we have that, you will be able to submit everything through the online portal, which will go directly to your broker management team for approval. So I know I've given you a lot of information right now, probably too much. I probably should break this up, but I want to answer your questions. So I'm going to open up the questions.
We have a question here for you, Laura. Yeah, Jim.
Laura, so the cost is $750 and they can be split with realtors and buyer sellers.
I'm sorry, how much?
$750?
No, I don't think
No.
it's 750.
No,
What is the actual cost for the buyer seller protection plan?
it's 149 paid at the successful close of escrow, I believe, Simon, is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes, $149.
149, Jim. I don't know where you got $750. Okay,
I have a question.
Yes,
go ahead. Laura.
Once escrow is closed, and let's say the client wants some other services, you provide those services at certain rate. Am I correct?
okay, so if your client needs an attorney after the close of escrow, let's say they want to set up a trust, okay? They're going to get a free consultation, document review, telephone consultation, document review, and then the attorney will extend to them the discounted rate off their normal hourly rates. Now, I have everywhere from $150 an hour paralegal all the way up to a $750 named partner, and everywhere in between. I can't give you an exact rate of what it would be. It's based on the situation and the type of attorney that they choose to use.
Thanks.
Good question. Anyone else have any additional questions that they love to ask Laura? Yes, Jimmy, another question, sir.
Do we have a phone number?
Yeah.
Yes,
We have a phone number. We
yes.
have all that information. We also have the email that you can send out the request, and we have all the forms too, as well. So you can send all the direct questions to me. I can prepare all the documentations, and then I can send it over to Laura as well.
Yes. And if your clients also, I'm not sure, Simon, if you shared this with them, but your clients have their own standalone buyer seller legal protection website. So, and that's on all the brochures. So if they have questions about the program, they just go to that website, and it's a standalone site. It's not your site talking about your benefits.
I do have a question for you, Laura. What if we represent both the buyer and the seller? Would that be a conflict of interest when it comes to the risk management and also the
No.
buyer seller protection plan?
Actually, it helps us. It helps us a lot when both are enrolled, that because they're introduced to us. The first time somebody hears the word mediator, they get scared. They're like, oh, lawyer, threat. No, we're peacemakers. Okay. So if you let's say, Simon, you represent the buyer, and Rosie, you represent the seller, or you both represent your own buyers and sellers. It's easier for us to mediate because they've been introduced into the system. Now, mediators are neutral third parties. We don't take sides. We don't say, okay, you're right, you're wrong. That's not what we do here. We're here to work it out. We go through the transactional documents. That's the key in our mediation cases. What did the disclosure say? Just so everyone knows, the number one reason for real estate disputes after the close of escrow is non-disclosure. That is the number one, and it's always going to be the number one, because people are afraid to disclose everything they know about the house because they think, well, if I disclose all that, then no one's going to want to buy it. No, you could have a house full of feral cats, and we're going to find the crazy cat lady that thinks it's perfect. So make sure that you're advising your clients, disclose everything you know about the house. How long have you lived here? Oh, I've lived here 40 years. I did all the remodeling myself and I didn't pull any permits. Okay, that's okay. We just want to disclose that to the buyer. So that way, after the close of escrow, they're not brought into one of these disputes, because these cases can go on and on and on and on. And your sellers, they think as is. I'm selling as is. It's as is disclosed. So please stress that to your clients. If your client is being hesitant about listing something in the disclosures, say, look, let's have you talk to an attorney. The attorney is going to give you the verbiage so it has the least impact on your transaction. So that's really great, because you're then the hero. Hey, they were able to disclose that someone was once buried in my backyard And, that was 20 years ago. Okay, that's fine. If you know it, you disclose it. That's really important, okay? And your clients need to know that. Also, things at the house, one of the other things we're running into a lot lately, I don't know why, it's just kind of ebbs and flows, items that come with the house. They took the refrigerators, they took the stoves, they took the in-ground lighting. Okay, so think of, when you're representing a seller, think of the house like this. Flip the house upside down. Everything that falls out is their personal. Anything that's attached besides those items excluded in the RPA, which are the brackets and things like that, but they're just required to fix the holes. Everything else stays with the house. Now, example, my house. My house has all hanging mirrors over all the sinks in the bathrooms. I'm knowing my business. I'm like, okay, I want all the mirrors that are hanging over the bathroom sinks because sellers take those. Well, I bought that, okay. Make sure that when you're representing a buyer, you're going around and saying, okay, let's look at things. Is the microwave removable, or is it just to have that little bracket around it? Because sellers say, nope, it wasn't attached. I took it, it just had a bracket. So, and when you're talking to your sellers, hey, what do you want to take with you? That's a beautiful chandelier. Oh yes, that's a family heirloom. That's going with me. Okay, we want to exclude that from the sale. Why don't we go to Home Depot, get something to exchange it with? Because if it's not coming with the house, that's going to cause some confusion. Also, make sure your sellers are signing off on your MLS documents. Do not copy an old MLS, please. Do a fresh MLS, put in all the information that you've gotten from your seller about the property, send it to them in an email, and ask them to read and acknowledge it, that the information is correct. Because on the MLS documents, buyers always bring those back. Look, it says this in the MLS. Yes, the information is deemed reliable, but not guaranteed. And the buyer is to satisfy themselves on the investigations of the property before the close of escrow, but they don't always do that. So they get upset, and then they go back to the seller, and the seller says, well, I didn't write that MLS. My agent did. Go after my agent. So that's why we really like to see sellers signing off on those MLS forms.
Love it. Love it. Any additional questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Simon. Hi, Laura. It's Chris Blahos.
Hi.
Hi, we do a lot of business here in the city of Gardena. And one of the things that we actually do is there is a waiver, because whenever title changes hands in the city of Gardena, the city wants to come out and do what's called a property information report. The city also provides a waiver because the last thing we want is for the city to come out and start poking through the house and finding all these potential violations, things that haven't been grandfathered in. So we always have our buyers sign the waiver. So if a buyer signs a waiver, escrow closes, and they find something else and decide they want to come back, go after the seller or come after us, does that waiver pretty much handle everything so far as them being able to come back and maybe sue the seller or us?
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. Okay, there is no bulletproof vest. You are a licensee. It is averaged you're going to get sued at least twice in your professional career. Now, is there a defense there? Yeah. Hey, the buyer signed the waiver, then they come back after the close of escrow and say, hey, all of these problems, this wasn't permitted, this wasn't this wasn't that. Okay, what is going to help you in those situations? This is what the attorneys tell us. Your documentation, your notes, your text messages. Please upload your text messages into your notes at the end of the transaction. Why? Because text messages can get lost on phones. And if you have a text message advising the other agent of a situation or advising your own client of a situation, text messages are admissible in court. I work at the Sacramento court, and that's the main thing right there. Text message. So make sure that you have your documentation, you have it in order, and you have attached everything. That is going to be your best defense. But Chris, there is not going to be any kind of bulletproof vest. Anyone can sue anyone for any reason. And real estate in California, you are the second highest sued industry. You know what number one is?
Don't know.
Medical,
Oh,
doctors. That's the number one. You're number two. So, but again, the attorneys advise us document. Please make sure your disclosures are turned in before the close of escrow. That's another one I have going on right now with a lot of offices. I'm like, why did you close escrow without the TDS and the SPQ? What are you doing? Well, the agent got busy. No. Halt, stop. Get those back. Okay. Also, be really weary of quick transactions. We're seeing like a 10-day escrow kind of situation. And the buyer's like, yeah, I want the house. Yeah. And they get everything and they don't read it. And then right after the close of escrow, they come back. You didn't tell me this. Yes, we did. Here it is in the disclosure. You didn't tell me that. Yes, it did. It's in the disclosures. We have hold harmless agreements here for you that we can draft up. They're not a template. It's a customized document. So if you feel that you have a transaction that would require a hold harmless agreement, go to Simon. Simon can contact us. We can have that drafted up to you within a couple of hours. Especially like if the buyer and seller meet, this happens a lot. They meet and then they decide, hey, I'm going to let the buyer move in a month before the close of escrow. And I'm going to let the buyer do $30,000 worth of upgrades to the property during escrow. And we don't care what you say, Mr. Agent, we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. Get a hold harmless. We had that situation and escrow did not close. He did not qualify for the loan. And the seller got $30,000 worth of upgrades to the property. And the buyer ended up having to move out. So anything that looks a little strange or not normal, please make sure you're talking to Simon, the broker management team, and make sure that they're bringing us in because we want to be here to protect you. The last thing I want to do is pay your E&O deductible because that's my report card. That's where at the end of the year, I get a report card and it's based on how many lawsuits are filed against my clients. Years ago in the early 2000s, we would have hundreds of lawsuits a year filed against our clients. Last year, and I have over 500,000 enrolled active brokers and agents in my program. Last year, we had 11 lawsuits for all of those customers. So it's because of the mediation services after the close of escrow for the buyers and sellers, and it's because of our preventative services that are there for you to defend you. So like I said in the beginning, don't be afraid to use us.
thank you.
Awesome. Okay, one more question. Anyone else? Okay, cool. I have the last question, Laura, that I just want to stress, the importance. And then again, going back, we can provide you with these campaign flyers on a listing presentation. The peace of mind that when you go on a listing appointment, right, that you have protection, not just for the seller, but also if you're having a buyer consultation, the importance of protecting the buyer as well. It relieves us from that pressure, right? But more so knowing that you have representation for your clients and more so the cost involved. That way you can just clean your hands and let the attorneys handle, the issues, the concerns that your principals may ask. And it alleviates you from liability because we are not attorneys, right? We shouldn't be giving any legal advice or taxation advice. So the importance of all this, and again, this could be part of your listing presentation. How cool is this to have, and the peace of mind for your sellers and your buyers, because no one wants to be sued, right? As Laura stresses, but the importance of knowing that you have that arsenal, right, as part of your toolkit. So again, Laura, thank you. You're so awesome. Thank you for providing us with valuable information. And again, if you have any specific questions, Laura did put on the chat her email. Please reach out or reach out to me as well. I'm here, and Laura is here as well to help us with any legal advice. Okay.
All right, you guys, take care. Stay healthy and safe.
Thanks, Laura. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, team. Well, that concludes our team meeting. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Really appreciate it. Stay devoted, stay on track, and I'll see you on our next team meeting call. Bye for now.
That legal service